Hey, so today we're going to talk about shattered values, and I have a drawing that I'm going to shatter, and it's just pretty simple. I didn't go too crazy. You can go ahead and find something online, or you can look at something and draw it from life. Totally up to you. I did want to show you something really quickly. So I did this little butterfly here. Why did I do a butterfly? I don't know. Maybe it's because it's cold out now and butterflies make me think of spring and summer. So anyway, so I have this butterfly shape here. And the first thing you're gonna do is, I'm just gonna do one quick demo. So you're gonna create these shattered values, right? So you're just kind of creating these intersecting lines. And then what you're really doing is you wanna make sure that you don't have too much negative space. Like, look at this. This is so much negative space here. And then you have these little whiskers or antennas here. That's going to look weird. So I'd probably add another line here that divides up the space. And then essentially what you're going to do, and I'm just going to zero in on these shapes here. So what you're planning to do is when you go ahead and do this, you're going to start out really dark in one area. And you're going to gradually get lighter. And again, I'm using my this circular motion as I'm shading, and I'm going out and I'm getting lighter and lighter and lighter. You don't have to go all the way to white, but you certainly can. If you notice this little, like, it kind of just looks like an overlap. That's when you can use your blending stick. It gets a little bit more delicate. And I did not use my ebony just yet. I almost feel like it got a little too dark, so then you can go in and lighten it up. And it doesn't really matter what the shape is that you drew. You're not shading that particular shape. What you're shading is these little sections that were created. So because this was pretty dark here, I'm actually going to start dark here and then move my way up. Actually, I'm going to go back to this pencil. I'm going to move my way up, so then it's going to be pretty light here. And this shape is a lot bigger, so this shape is going to take a little bit more effort. So if you don't like these really big spaces, which I certainly don't, you will probably just want to go lighter. So this whole project is not about learning how to shade accurately to create the illusion of form. This project is excellent for the sake of getting you used to applying pressure to a pencil, so then even in big and small spaces, you can create this transition from light to dark, this gradient. And that is an essential skill that you're going to apply when you're trying to do more realistic values, because you're going to have these tight spaces where things are getting very, like you get gradual shifts in values, or you're going to get larger spaces. So anyway, so that's kind of the idea. So let's start with my final drawing. So I'm going to zoom out again a little bit. All right, so I have this quirky little butterfly, and I'm certainly not going to use my ebony just yet. So I'm thinking, well, there's a lot going on in here, but I have quite a bit of negative space here, and I don't want all this negative space to be bothering me. So I'm probably going to start my shattered values here. I'm starting from one corner. You can do this from no matter where you want to do it, but I'm starting from corners. I'm actually going to go through this line, and I'm going to create these shattered lines, and I might apply a few more later. We'll see. Lots of space here. Ugh, we don't want that. So maybe I'll create a value here and take it through here. I'm being very strategic. And then maybe I'll make another one here. Maybe do another one right here. So I don't want, like, remember when we did this? This was like quite a big space. So I'm really kind of just trying to break it up. And I'll probably add a few more. So it's kind of like you're making a checkerboard almost. But anyway, yeah, I'll probably do one more maybe. I think the butterfly is kind of busy. So, all right, so I'll start here. So this antenna created this shape here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start really dark here. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. And I'm going to gradually get lighter. Not too light. So the antenna serves almost as a way to kind of break up this big space. So use the lines that the shapes created and then the lines that you ran through the shape. So use both. And it is going to get pretty complex here. I get that, and I'm okay. And I might actually add a couple extra lines here. But I'm starting really dark, and I'm getting lighter and lighter and lighter by pressing, you know, like you're really developing this like physical memory of how to shade with your hands. And like any athlete, the more you do something, the more the muscle memory will serve you better later. So I went from light to dark. You can use a little bit of your blending stick. I'm actually pressing pretty lightly here because it's pretty dark here. I might start dark here and then get lighter. Maybe not too light because it's pretty, you know, you can, I'm kind of going dark here and then I'm going to get lighter as I go out here. So my transition here was a little bit quicker, but you can still see that kind of division. So your darks and your lights are kind of opposing one another. And then I have this shape here done by this antenna. So this is my antenna, right? So here it's pretty light. So maybe I'll go dark here again. And you know what? This is quite a big, yeah, I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do this. So then this shape doesn't end up being too big. All right, so again, this is a little light, so I'm gonna go dark, and you can certainly go in with your ebony. I'm gonna go in with my ebony probably a little bit later, like I could probably use a little bit of ebony here, but ebony is really hard to erase, and once you go and use ebony, it's really hard to lighten it up, so you kind of wanna really be strategic about it. I'm going to go light really quickly here. So you know what? I'm just going to get lighter and lighter and lighter. You guys are going to become such pros at values. I swear to God, you guys are going to be rock stars. So when it's time to draw our faces, it's going to be like so easy. All right, so this got pretty light here. There we go. Look, this whole shape, that becomes its own thing. So you know what? Here's the eyeball. Maybe I'll make the eyeball just really dark all the way around. Look, you can even do transitions from the outer edges to the inner edges, and then get light going in. Ooh, that looks kind of cool. All right, so since it's dark here, I'm gonna go pretty light around here. Hold on, let me clean this up, my drawing. And I'll start dark here. I might go a little darker here and then get lighter. So here it's a tight space. So you really want to be very, very slow. You don't want to go too fast. I know it's really tempting to go really fast when you're working on something this big, but you really can't, especially when you want to be making these decisions about where it's going to be light and where it's going to be dark. And it doesn't have to necessarily be like from A to Z. It could be from A to Z back to A, because your shapes aren't linear. So your shapes are organic. So you can change it up. Like this shape is dark here, light here. As long as it looks natural and you have that natural transition, that's what we're aiming for. And I'm going to go in and you can actually have some white. I'm going to add a little bit of white in here. So I still have that transition. And you can see how that's working. And I'm going to keep going. If I was to do this whole drawing, this would be a really boring video. I'm already at almost 10 minutes. So I'm going to call it a day here. I hope this is helpful. Again, these lines, you know what? You can always add more lines if you feel like you have a space that's way too big. Unless you want to shade something that big. You might want to. So it's totally your choice. Have fun with this. This is going to make you really good at shading. And for that, I say au revoir, thank you, and good luck.